Hi everyone, this is Chauke speaking, facilitator of building and structural construction N5 at Majuba TVET College. I'll be taking you through the topic trusses, and this will be part 1B of our video. Remember that we have done, or if you have not checked it, go and check part 1A of the same topic. It's just a continuation of the problem. All right, so part 1A we did determine the reaction RL and RR using graphical method. We will do number 2 where we're going to determine the magnitude and nature of each member of the truss. Okay, remember the truss is this one here now. Again, I'm using CAD just to demonstrate the graphical method. I'm not demonstrating how to use CAD. All right, so here we are now. We have the reactions now. We want to determine what the member or the magnitude of the forces within the members. All right, number 1, what you need to do. All right, before we continue, I would like us to recap a little bit. You remember that I was using scale 1:1 here. What you need to do when you draw the external forces, the blue line is external forces. We were going in a clockwise direction. Okay, remember that. All right, so what I did, I offset this one, this force here, the resultant here. So depending on the type of the scale that you're going to be using, what you need to do, you will come and measure the distance of your resultant and then convert it to your scale. All right, and then you'll get you'll multiply this distance by your scale, and you'll get the resultant force here. You do the same with this one now. You will measure this distance, the diagonal line, which is your resultant of the two forces here, and then you do what? You convert it, or you multiply that distance with your scale, and this is the one that we are going to use. When you come here, you can also use a different scale. Maybe you want to magnify your force diagram here. Okay, you can use a different scale. So you use that force here to determine or to draw your force diagram. These resultant forces to draw your force diagram. I just wanted to highlight that because myself, I used scale 1:1 for this one. You may not need to use 1:1. Okay, right. Let's continue without any waste of time. Now, the most important thing when it comes to drawing the members, you must go and choose a joint, and the joint that you're going to use or to choose must at least have the minimum of, or the maximum, sorry, of 2 unknown members. All right, so this joint has got 1, 2, this joint has got 1, 2, 3, this joint has got 1, 2, 3, this joint has got 1, 2 members. This joint here has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you must choose a joint with 2 members. So I've got this joint with 2 members, AH and GH, and also this one, FL and GL. I like to start from this side. All right, so this is the joint that I'm going to choose first. So this is the joint that I'm going to choose. All right, let me just this is the joint. All right, so the joint AH and GH, this is the joint I'm going to choose. All right, so what you need to do now, you start with the member which is easier to draw. GH is the horizontal one, so I'm going to take this one. I do have G here, but I don't have H, so I'm gonna take this one. I'm gonna bring it here. All right, and then now I'm left with what? AH. Where A and G meet, that's where I'm going to have my H. All right, and I know that AH is at an angle of 30 degrees. So I do have A there. So I'm gonna offset this one. If we do not, if you want, you can just come and measure the angle of 30 degrees from the horizontal line, and then you draw it. So just because my frame is drawn at the correct angle, I can just offset. Okay, just gonna take this one here. I'm gonna take A there, right? And then I'm gonna extend this line. There we go. There we go. And then where they meet, I'm going to have what? I'm going to have my H. Okay. Where they meet, I'm going to have my H. All right. I'm done with this joint. I'm going to the next joint. Remember, the joint that I'm going to use to deal with or to focus on should have two unknown forces. All right, two unknown members rather. So if I look at this joint here, this joint has got 1, 2, 3 forces. Let me say this. This joint has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members. But of the 5 members, I only have GH. I don't have the rest of them members there. So I can't use this one. But if I come to this joint here, I have CJ, HJ, and AH. Of the 3 members, I do have AH, meaning that the members that are left or are known here will be CJ and AH. So I can work with that joint. All right, let me just so I am going to use this joint now. I'm going to this joint. Okay, I'm going to this joint. All right, now CJ, number one, you start with the member which is easier to draw. You can see that CJ is the outside member which is at an angle of 30 degrees. I'm going to start with this one, CJ. So I'm gonna copy this offset and offset. I do have C, right? Here's my C. Here's my C. Right. I do have my C now. I do have my C. And then I'm left with what? HJ. HJ is this force which is, this member which is acting at an angle of 30 degrees as well. So where C and H meet, I'm going to have my J. So I'm going to offset this one now. Again, I'm going to offset. I do have H. All right, so I'm going to draw my line from H. Okay, let me do it again. I'm not so sure if it's... Okay. All right. Let's do this like this. Okay. Right, where they meet, I have what? I have J. So I'm gonna put my J here. All right, so this joint now is done. If I come back to this joint, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members. Of the 5, I do have these 2 members, HJ and GH. I'm left with 1, 2, 3. Again, I can't work with more than 3 unknown members, right? I'm gonna come here to this joint. Another thing that you must note, I did not jump from here to here just because this side it has got 2 members as well. I avoid to do that, or I encourage a student to avoid that, because it may cause trouble at the end, whereby you find that your frame does not tie and just create a confusion. But if you go from member to member, here in a clockwise direction, if you're going in a clockwise direction, it makes everything easy. Okay, so this one I'm not gonna work with it because it has got more than 3 members, which are unknown. All right, I'm gonna come to this one. If I look at this joint here, I've got 1, 2, 3 members, but of the 3 members, CJ I have already. I'm left with EK and JK. All right, I'm gonna move to this joint now. All right, that's my focus. Now, if I look at this joint now, I'm left with, I do have CJ, so this one is dealt with already. I've got EK and JK. EK is the outside member, which is also easier to do, and also JK is vertical, it's also easier to do. So I do have J here, so I can just take this one now and go where J is. J is here, vertical line drawn. All right, and then I must come here. Where is that one? Okay, EK, which is also the outside member, which is acting at an angle of 30 degrees. I'm gonna offset it. Okay, I do have E. Where is my E? E is here, right? E is here. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna take offset to E, or I can just come and draw a horizontal line here at E, and then measure 30 degrees. All right. So where they meet, so they must meet somewhere here. Let me extend this line. All right, now can you see they're meeting at that point? All right, now where they meet, I have what? Where they meet, I have K. Okay, where E and J meet, I have K. So I'll come here. I'll have K. All right, now that I have K, I'm done with this joint now. Right, I'm done with this joint. I look for another joint which is easier. If I come to this joint has got 1, 2, 3 EK I can use this joint, or I can just come here. If I come to this joint which has got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 members. Now I have 1, 2, 3 members. I'm left with what? 2, meaning that I can come to this joint, right? Now, of the 5, these 3 I have, I'm left with this one. I'll start with the easiest one. The easiest member is gonna be my GL, and which is horizontal. I do have already the G, the horizontal member G, which is this one. So now the one that I'm left with what now is what is KL. I do have K, and I must draw a line that will come to G. All right. So at an angle of what? 30 degrees again. So I'm gonna copy this one now. Let me copy from the top. All right, I'm gonna copy this one there. So it's crossing line G, or it meets line G. So when it gets to line G, now that's where I have my what? I have, let's come here. I'm here, right? So where K and G meet, I'm going to have my L. All right. So this means it's gonna be L. All right. Now I'm done with this joint. I'm left with, now if I come to this joint, I've got 1, 2, 3. Of the 3, these 2 I have, I'm left with LF, right? Even when I come here, I'm gonna be left with LF. So meaning that what is left now, it is to join LF. Join LF. Okay. Right. Now I'm done drawing my members. All right. Just for the sake of time, let us pause this video and then we will do the magnitude in the next video and also the nature of the members. All right.